There are many strange things in the world that we still don't have an explanation for. Some of them are quite scary, some are mysterious, and some can make us feel very uneasy. But there are some things out there that we just don't know about. Today we will look at some unsolved mysteries and surprising facts about Spain. Make sure to watch till the end to find out what these strange things are. But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. The Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is one of the most mysterious books ever found, and it's been baffling experts for centuries. This ancient text is written in a language that has never been deciphered, and the pictures inside are unlike anything seen before or since. It was named after the bookseller Wilfrid Voynich, who purchased it in Italy in 1912. Before then, little is known about the book's history. Written sometime between 1404 and 1436, its author remains unknown. The text appears to describe plants and their uses, but so far, no one has been able to confirm this theory. Experts believe that the illustrations are of real plants, but they could also be symbolic or representational. The text itself has also stumped scholars. It's written in a script that resembles Latin characters, but it doesn't follow any known language rules. There are even claims that the book contains a hidden message that can only be seen under ultraviolet light. The Voynich manuscript is currently held at Yale University and is open to the public for viewing. However, it's kept under tight security due to its mysterious origins and unknown contents. As one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in history, the Voynich manuscript continues to fascinate experts and amateurs alike. With its cryptic text and strange illustrations, this ancient book may hold secrets that are just waiting to be discovered. Mysterious megalithic monument in Spain. A new megalithic monument has been discovered in Spain, and archaeologists are baffled by its origins. The structure is located near the town of Antequera and dates back to around 3300 BC. It consists of two parallel rows of standing stones that are up to 7 feet tall and weigh several tons. Archaeologists have nicknamed the site the Triple Monument because it's made up of 3 separate structures within a larger complex. The first structure is a circle of standing stones that measures 164 feet in diameter. Inside the circle are 2 smaller structures, a rectangular enclosure and a horseshoe-shaped row of stones. The rectangular enclosure measures 131 feet long and 82 feet wide and contains several large slabs of rock. The horseshoe-shaped row of stones is 197 feet long and up to 13 feet wide. The newly discovered monument is thought to be around 1,000 years older than Stonehenge and is one of the oldest structures of its kind ever found in Europe. The purpose of the monument is unknown, but researchers believe it may have been used for burial rituals or as a place of worship. The discovery has shocked the scientific community and has raised many questions about the origins of megalithic monuments in Europe. Researchers are now working to date the site more accurately and to determine its exact purpose. The origins of the Basque people. The Basques are a fascinating group of people who live in the Pyrenees Mountains on the border between France and Spain. They speak a language that is unrelated to any other living language and have a culture that is distinct from their neighbors. But where did the Basques come from? The answer to this question has eluded scientists for centuries. One of the prevailing theories is that the Basques are descendants of the ancient Aquitani people, who were a Celtic tribe that lived in the region during the Iron Age. However, linguistic evidence suggests that the Basques may have been in the area long before the Aquitani arrived. In fact, the Basque language may be one of the oldest languages in Europe, with roots that can be traced back to prehistoric times. Another theory is that the Basques are descended from the Neanderthals, an extinct species of primitive humans that once inhabited Europe. This idea is supported by genetic studies which show that modern Basques have a higher percentage of Neanderthal DNA than do other Europeans. However, this theory is controversial and not widely accepted among scientists. The truth is, the origins of the Basque people remain a mystery. Despite centuries of research, scientists have been unable to come to a consensus on where the Basques came from, or how they managed to survive in relative isolation for so long. Where did the Moors come from? The Moors were a group of people who invaded and conquered much of Spain during the Middle Ages. They established the Emirate of Cordoba in 756 AD, and at their peak, controlled almost all of the Iberian Peninsula. But where did the Moors come from? The Moors were originally a collective term used by Europeans to refer to Muslims from North Africa and the Middle East. The term Moor was derived from the Latin word mori, which referred to inhabitants of the Moroccan region of Mauritania. When the Muslim armies began conquering Spain in the 8th century, they were called Moors by the Christian Spaniards. However, the Moors were not a single group of people. Rather, they were made up of various different ethnic groups and nationalities who followed Islam. Many of the Moors were Berbers, a group of people who lived in North Africa. Others were Arabs who had migrated to Spain from the Middle East. The Moors ruled over Spain for several centuries, and during their time in power, they made significant contributions to science, art, and culture. However, in the late 1400s, the Moors were finally expelled from Spain. Today, there are still some people of Moorish descent living in Spain, but they make up only a small percentage of the population. The Lost City of El Dorado. El Dorado is a legendary city of gold that's said to be hidden somewhere in South America. The story goes that in the 16th century, a Spanish conquistador named Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada stumbled upon the city while exploring the jungles of Colombia. He was so amazed by the wealth and grandeur of El Dorado that he decided to keep its location a secret. Over the years, many explorers have tried to find the lost city of gold, but it remains hidden to this day. Some historians believe that El Dorado was nothing more than a myth created by the Spanish to lure conquistadors to the New World. However, others believe that the city really did exist, but has since been destroyed by the jungle. If El Dorado really is out there, it would be one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history. Fortunately, it may be lost forever. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart was a pioneering aviator who set many records during her lifetime. In 1932, she became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. 4 years later, she disappeared over the Pacific Ocean while attempting to circumnavigate the globe. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are still unknown, but there are many theories as to what happened. One theory is that Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, crashed into the ocean and drowned. Another theory is that they landed on a remote island, but didn't survive the crash. A third theory is that Earhart was captured by the Japanese and executed. Fortunately, we may never know what really happened to Amelia Earhart. Her plane was never found, and there is conflicting evidence as to where she was last seen alive. The D-Man. The D-Man is a mysterious humanoid figure that's said to inhabit the forests of northern Spain. The creature is described as being hairy and foul-smelling, and is said to attack livestock and even humans. While there is no concrete evidence that the D-Man exists, there are many reports from locals who claim to have seen the creature. Some believe that the D-Man is a member of an ancient race of giants that once inhabited Spain. Others believe that it's a wild man, a creature that lives in the wilderness and has no contact with human beings. Whether or not the D-Man actually exists, the legend has become part of Spanish folklore. In conclusion, there are many strange and mysterious things in our world that we still don't understand. From the Voynich manuscript to the disappearance of Amelia Earhart, these unsolved mysteries continue to baffle scientists and experts. However, they also remind us of how much we do know about the world around us, and inspire us to keep exploring and learning. So what do you think of these strange things? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.